Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's movie review here, and today I'm bringing you a Blu-ray and DVD shopping guide and reviews for August 11th, 2020. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. Remember, you can find affiliate links to purchase all these movies down in the description below. So first up this week we have Valley of the Gods. This one's releasing on a Blu-ray. Walmart $14.96, Best Buy $14.99, Amazon $17.99, and Target $19.98. Also releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart $12.96, Best Buy and Target $14.99. Well Go USA did send me over a copy of Valley of the Gods for review. I did post an unboxing of this. If you like, check that out. Just search for Valley of the Gods on my channel. This one does have an interesting artwork, and I really enjoyed the disc art. Was pretty good on this one. So this is a kind of really strange, really out there movie, and I had to really think about it for a while just to try to wrap my head around this thing. So you have this three different characters. One's like the richest man in the world. One is a writer who, I don't know, things just aren't going real good for him. And one is a Navajo man. Now, what's this movie about? I don't know. To be honest, guys, it's just so weird and confusing. The only thing that makes any sense for me to try to process in my mind is that this thing is like 5 or 6 short stories. Now, if you look at it that way, I think the movie makes a little more sense because it'll show part 1 and it'll have a name, and part 2 and have a name, and part 3 and have a name. I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 parts, but they have the same characters and they're in the same geographic region, but they don't really seem to be like one long continuous story. So while I don't believe here it says anywhere that it's like a collection of short stories, it says through 3 separate storylines featuring middle-class writer, eccentric trillionaire, and struggling Navajo community. Each section doesn't really seem to pertain to the others. Like in one, they want to mine uranium from the Navajo land, but it's never brought up again. Like, what? It doesn't seem to be like part of the movie. It's just the one section. So I could be wrong, but like I say, I think this is just like a collection of short stories. Anyways, it's kind of really out there and really hard to follow. It does have Josh Hartnett and John Malkovich, and I really definitely expected more with these two in it. It does have some really crazy out there stories going on. I'm not going to get into them, guys. If you want to watch it, you can see these stories. But it does have some really good cinematography. I especially liked when they were doing that kind of like native dance at night, but it was like they were using super colorful clothing, and it looked really cool. But overall, guys, I gave this movie a 2. You couldn't follow it. Next up is The High Note. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Amazon and Walmart $19.96, Best Buy and Target $22.99. Also releasing on a DVD, Amazon and Walmart $14.96, Target $16.99, and Best Buy $19.99. Universal did send me over a copy of The High Note for review. I did post an unboxing. If you'd like to check that out, just search for The High Note on my channel. Now, this was the story of this singer, Grace Davis, and she's kind of in her later years. I don't know exactly how old she's portraying, but it's kind of past her prime. She was probably famous in the 70s would be my guess, and now she's kind of just trying to stay relevant, people love her. It's not like she's completely faded away. People still love her music, but it's kind of classic music, and she's trying to stay relevant. But the movie, ends up being less about her and more about her assistant, Maggie. And Maggie, unlike a lot of people in her life, she loves her music, and she's just happy to be around her. She's working for her. And there's kind of this whole, Grace is rich and kind of doesn't treat her very good. But Maggie doesn't go away. She just keeps plugging along, but she has aspirations to be more. She wants to be a music producer, and she's really interested in that. And she meets this young man and she ends up producing his music. And there's this kind of twist towards the end that's pretty good. It's a very interesting story. I definitely enjoyed the characters and I enjoyed the movie. It was nearly a 2-hour runtime, but I feel like they did a good job, even for an hour and 53 minutes. It is kind of a romance and a musical and a drama, and not the kind of movie I typically watch, but this was my second watch on this one, guys, and I think it's a really fun movie. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Final Space, the complete seasons 1 and 2, releasing on a Blu-ray, Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart, $24.99, and Target no listing. Now, Warner Brothers did send me over a copy of Final Space, seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, and I did post an unboxing of this. If you'd like to check that out, just search for Final Space on my channel. Now, in the unboxing, I stated how the discs were sequentially ordered, even though you have 2 seasons. On the discs, the episodes actually just keep a running total of the number of episodes. So it's kind of strange, but so this wasn't a show I had ever heard of, Final Space. But it's about this young man named Gary, and he's like impersonating a pilot or some sort of pilot, and he ends up getting arrested, and he's sent to prison for 5 years, and I didn't really understand why, but his prison sentence, he's living it out on a like a spaceship, and he's there by himself, and I don't know if this is just like how everybody's is or what the deal was, but whatever he's doing out there in space. And he has like this companion robot that keeps his sanity, and he has an AI on the ship, and basically the AI has to keep him in check and watch everything he's doing, and if he does something wrong, gets time added on, and all this stuff. And all these things seem to keep happening, and he keeps getting into trouble, and he has to like save the world or save whatever over and over, and it's a pretty similar formula throughout the episodes. But very interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's good stories, good fun, very colorful, bright, enjoyable to look at. I don't want to get too much into season 2 because I think it'll spoil season 1 a lot. But basically, season 2, they have to find these keys so that they can rescue somebody they lost in season 1. And again, it's just a real fun show. I wasn't sure if this was a kids or adults kind of cartoon. I wouldn't recommend it for young children. It does have some mild language. It's not too bad. I've watched some with my daughter, and luckily she didn't really ask what they were talking about. But it does have a lot of violence, and there's blood and just a ton of violence. But I think it's a really fun show, guys. I had a lot of fun watching it. I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. Guys, check this one out for sure. Next up is The Wretched. This one's releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon and Best Buy $22.99, Walmart $23.44, and Target $23.99. Also releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Target $19.98, Best Buy $19.99, and Walmart $20.18. Now, IFC Midnight did send me over a copy of The Wretched for review, and I did post an unboxing of this if you'd like to check that out. Just search for The Wretched on my channel. So in this movie, now I feel like there's a little information that they didn't necessarily give you. They allude to it, and some of that information is actually here on the back. This kid's parents are divorced, I believe it is, and he goes to stay with his dad, I think for the summer, and I'm not sure how far away they live, but they live in kind of like one of those vacation towns where they have like the little dock for the boats, and everybody there is rich. He's not really rich, but his dad is kind of like the boss there at the dock, and so he's working for his dad. And at the same time, this evil entity, or whatever you want to call it, is just slowly making its way through, killing off the townspeople, and basically, or killing off mostly the children or whatever. And once they do that, everybody forgets about him except for this one kid. And the thing about this movie, guys, is it's not really like, oh, what is it or who is it, or you find that out early. It's one of those ones where the kid knows everything that's going on, but he can't convince anyone. Nobody believes him, and he's trying so hard just to convince people that something is wrong. Now, I thought this is a really interesting movie, guys. I think it was really well done, really good effects. I love the acting and the story. And this is probably one of the better horror movies I've actually seen in a while, guys. I just really enjoyed this one. Good movie here. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, this is the 3-episode kind of mini-series they released from Nickelodeon, but it'll be releasing on a DVD, Amazon and Best Buy and Walmart $11.99, Target $12.99. So I did pre-order that one, guys. When I get it, maybe today, I'll post an unboxing of that. I'm not going to do a review of it. I did watch it, and I really enjoyed it, guys. I mean, it was disappointing in some ways. It was only 3 episodes. It strayed very, very far away from the Are You Afraid of the Dark formula. If you guys aren't familiar with Are You Afraid of the Dark, that was a show when I was a youngster, and it was like horror stories for kids. You know, there was a half-hour show, and there were these group of kids, the Midnight Society, and they would tell kind of like ghost stories to each other, and each week a different kid had to tell a ghost story, and basically they were just there between commercials or at the beginning and at the end, and it was every week it was different actors, different locations, and they would act out these stories. This one was a lot different. So there was still the Midnight Society, but the story was more about the Midnight Society. Instead of them telling the story, they were the story. So it was definitely a different feel, and it was the 3 episodes was kind of just like one long story. So it was very different. I definitely enjoyed it. I think it was cool, but it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? So I liked it. Yeah, I'll be getting that one here pretty soon, hopefully. Next up, Casper is releasing on a steelbook only at Best Buy, which will include Blu-ray, and it's gonna have a digital, I believe, for $14.99. Now, I did pre-order that one. I believe it's being delivered today, so I'll bring you guys an unboxing of that hopefully before the end of the week. Next up is Eureka, the complete series, releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon, Target, and Walmart, $42.99. Best Buy, no listing. Next up is Blacklist, the complete 7th season, releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon and Walmart, $40.49. Best Buy, $42.99. And Target, no listing. Also releasing on a DVD. Walmart, $27.96. Best Buy, $27.99. Amazon and Target, $29.99. Now, I've never seen that one. If you guys have seen it, what do you guys think? Is it worth checking out? Next up is NCIS New Orleans, the 6th season, releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart, $39.96. Best Buy, $42.99. And Target, $44.99. Now, another one I've never seen, but I'm assuming it's probably similar to NCIS, right? I mean, just in a different place. I don't know. Next up, Archive is releasing on a DVD. Walmart, $12.96. Amazon and Target, $12.99. Best Buy, $13.99. Now, I did review this one, guys, when it released on digital. If you'd like to check out that review, just search for Archive on my channel. I did give it a 3.5 out of 5, and there's a lot of contention in the comment section on that video. The movie is slow, and it does get boring in parts. It's about this guy who's like in this very isolated location, and he's developing this artificial intelligence robots. Basically, he's got his wife's like memory or whatever, her brain stored, and he wants to put her into a robot, but he's trying to like dialing it in or whatever. And the whole time there's all these really weird things happening, and it's kind of hard to follow. And then, you know, at the end there's just this crazy twist, it explains everything. And, well, some people didn't get it, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that complicated. But it kind of really just explains everything. And definitely a movie where you got to go back and rewatch it now that you know the truth and see what you see. But, you know, I think that the twist ending really kind of made the movie for me. It's one of those things where you're just like, you know, and then, you know, that's a totally different movie. So I'd check that one out, guys. It's definitely a cool one. Next up is G-Loc. I assume that's how you say it. It is releasing on a DVD. Amazon, $13.99. Target and Walmart, $14.76. And Best Buy, no listing. Now, Lionsgate did send me over a copy of G-Loc for review. As you guys can see, I have not opened it. I just got it the other day, so I won't be reviewing it this week. It should be in next week's video, though. Stephen Moyer, Tala Gouveia, Casper Van Dien, and John Rhys Davies. The last days of Earth comes a new beginning. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I will be checking that one out. Next up is I Am Vengeance Retaliation. This one's releasing on a Blu-ray and digital. Walmart, $14.96. Amazon, Best Buy, and Target, $14.99. It is also releasing on a DVD. Walmart, $12.96. Amazon and Best Buy, $13.99. and Target $14.89. Now, I didn't request this one, guys, because I watched the trailer and I saw who was in it, and I was like, this movie doesn't look fantastic. Like, I'm not saying that it's a bad movie. I haven't seen it. It just didn't look like it was going to really stand out to me. It just kind of looked like a real generic movie. But I didn't realize it was the sequel to I Am Vengeance, which is kind of funny because I Am Vengeance, I believe, only got released on DVD, and then the sequel now got released on Blu-ray. But if I had realized that, I probably would have checked it out. But what are you going to do? Next up is Aqua Slash, releasing on a DVD. Now, Best Buy has this listed as $14.99, but it also says sold out, so I don't believe they actually have them. And then Amazon listed as $24.99. Target, Walmart, no listing. Now, I did just recently review this one. Red Hound Films did provide me with a streaming link to review Aqua Slash. Now, this movie is a horror movie, and it's kind of got like the 80s slasher vibe to it, and I feel like they kind of really went out of their way to create an atmosphere that was, along the lines of the 80s slasher film. Now, this is a modern movie, though, where a group of teenagers who have just graduated high school go to this water park for their graduation party. Now, we're not given really many clues to who the killer could be. I don't know, they give a couple possible suspects, but really there's almost no killing till the end. We see a couple kills at the beginning, one or two in the middle, and then everybody is killed. That's killed at the end. And in a way, I mean, that was kind of disappointing, the way they kind of just put their plan into action, and how even the kills happen. It was kind of disappointing. I thought it was an interesting movie, and I did like this whole serial killer water park kind of thing. And there were a couple things, as far as just the way people did things, and probably the script and the editing, that didn't make a terrible high amount of sense. But there's something about this movie, guys. I just enjoyed it, and I thought it was fun, and I gave it a 3 out of 5. Now, for a couple releases that are available now, Coma was sent to me by Dark Sky Films for review, and I did post an unboxing of this. If you'd like to check that out, just search for Coma on my channel. Now, this movie was about this guy who wakes up in this really strange world, and he doesn't know what's going on. Like, everything's kind of like torn apart, and the buildings are kind of like disappearing, and everything just looks real weird. And then he meets this group of people, and there's like something after him, and he goes along with them. And it turns out they're all in kind of this collective coma world, where everybody who's in a coma goes into this world, and everything you can see is somebody in the coma's memory. Or I'm not sure if it's like everyone in there now, or who has been in a coma, or what that meant exactly. So if you see it, somebody is from somebody's memory. And so there's these things that are kind of tracking down all the people in the coma, and they are trying to escape and just kind of stay alive. And it's questionable how they would really know much of anything. I mean, they'll say people die or whatever, but maybe they just woke up from their coma, which maybe was part of the point of the movie. But to me, I was just like, well, you don't really, if you think you're in a coma, you don't really know what's going on, what's real, what's not real, what might happen. But so they're trying to build this place that nobody remembers, so that these things can't find them. Now, this movie looked amazing. I mean, there's some really good special effects, and there's kind of like no laws of gravity. Like a building would be facing another way, and so you'd jump and then you'd fall even though it was up. Like, kind of weird, but it's very interesting. I feel like towards the end, the story got a little kind of out there even more, and it got a little hard to follow. But overall, guys, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I think it was a good story. It did remind me a little of another movie, but I definitely liked it, guys. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Last up this week, guys, Orange is the New Black, the 7th and final season. This was sent to me for review by Lionsgate, and I did post an unboxing of this. If you like to check that out, just search for Orange is the New Black on my channel. Now, I love Orange is the New Black, guys. If you guys haven't seen it, you've been missing out. I kind of feel like this was like one of the first, Netflix exclusives, or just the Netflix shows that really, you know, just kind of sank in there, and everybody had to watch it. 7 seasons. It's been going on for 7 years, or close to 7 years, or whatever. And it was so good. And there's so many, just like so many really great characters and great acting. And you just kind of really fell in love with the cast. And even though they were all criminals, like, they're mostly not really bad people. And so this follows a group of women at a women's correctional facility. We have the one main character, Piper, and she was kind of not in there for a long time, but it really, she was kind of like the nucleus of the show. Even though to me, it's hard to say there's a main character, because there's like probably 20 characters, you know, so everybody's kind of got some time. So this is the final season. To me, it's kind of like, how do you end it? You know, it's hard to resolve all these storylines. Now, to me, the only way really to resolve it is all the characters have to either die, be released, be transferred, or a combination of those. You know, what else could they do to possibly, you know, give you closure on the series? And I feel like some characters definitely got better closure than others. And I feel like a couple things even in this season, they didn't really kind of follow through with and necessarily resolve those. So we saw it a little bit at the end of season 6, but basically this one takes place in 2 places, the Litchfield Correctional Facility and an ICE detention center. And they kind of really went into this whole thing about immigrants being held in ICE detention centers and kind of their treatment and what was going on there, which is kind of, you know, I don't know, it's really messed up. But like I said, we do get some resolution for a few characters and not for others. I would say all in all, though, they did a good job. You know, it's like I say, it's how do you resolve this? And I'm sad to see it go. Like, I'm always excited when the new season comes out, and always excited to watch it. And it's one of those shows you can binge watch. This one, though, is pretty long, 13 hours and 41 minutes. It is 13 episodes, and 2 of them were over an hour. There's like an hour and a half and like an hour and 15 in there. So, I mean, it's almost like the last episode's like a movie. A little weird in that last episode, too. They brought back a lot of characters that haven't been seen in 1 or more seasons. And, you know, I kind of forgot about them. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know. But it's kind of weird because they just got like a little scene to kind of end it all off, so you could just bring back all these characters. But then, of course, none of those people got any kind of resolution. But overall, guys, I think it was a great season. I definitely enjoyed this one. Probably one of my favorite seasons. You know, it's a bittersweet kind of thing. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys have seen any of these movies or TV shows, I'd love to hear your thoughts on those down in the comment section below. If you plan on picking anything up, be sure to let me know what it is. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. Check the suggested videos. And for more movie news, check my website, bobsmoviereview.com. And I'll see you guys next time.